Welcome to the KinderPage podcast from Toronto. Today is Sunday, May 11, 2025, discussing when children should get themselves up and ready for school.
And just a reminder, this podcast is based on research. Listeners should verify detail.
Absolutely. So this morning routine thing, it's a big one for parents, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. That dream of maybe, just maybe, getting a peaceful cup of coffee before the school run chaos begins.
Right. We're talking about kids actually, managing their own getting dressed, teeth brushed, breakfast eaten world.
It sounds blissful, but figuring out when they're actually ready for that independence.
Yeah, that can feel less like a calm morning and more like trying to find a matching pair of mittens in the dark during a snowstorm. Total scramble.
Exactly. So that's our mission today, really, to cut through some of that morning fog. We want to look at the factors involved and offer some practical steps.
Okay, so what's the general takeaway? Is there a magic age?
Well, the research tends to point towards roughly 8 to 10 years old as a common time when kids start showing readiness.
8 to 10.
But, and this is a big but, it's definitely not a hard and fast rule. Think of it like, well, choosing the right maple syrup, lots of variation.
Huh. Good Canadian analogy. So it really depends.
Totally depends. You might have one 8-year-old who's super organized and a 10-year-old who, still needs prompting for every single step. Maturity, cognitive development, even just plain old motivation, it all plays a part.
Okay, let's dig into that 8 to 10 window then. What's actually happening development-wise around that age? Why then?
Well, a lot of it comes down to those executive functions starting to kick in more reliably. Think planning, organizing, managing time. The brain's sort of control center.
Gotcha. The air traffic control for getting ready.
Pretty much. So they get better at following multiple steps like get dressed, then eat breakfast, then pack your bag. Fewer reminders needed, hopefully.
That makes sense. It's the sequencing piece. And I guess physically they're usually sorted by then. Buttons, zippers, the toothbrush tango.
Exactly. Those basic self-care skills are generally down pat. They can manage dressing without it becoming a major puzzle. Brush teeth effectively. The essentials.
Little building blocks for independence.
Right. And often, psychologically, this is when they start wanting more independence, too. They see older kids or friends doing things themselves.
And they think, hey, I can do that.
Precisely. That little push from within is huge.
Okay, so age is a guideline, but we need to look deeper. What are those other signs parents should be watching for beyond just the birthday?
Definitely. So yes, physical ability, we covered that, but also their understanding of time. Do they get that dawdling means being late? That sequence matters.
Right. It's not just knowing what to do, but when and how long it takes, that abstract thinking.
Exactly. And then there's the emotional side. How do they handle those little morning frustrations? A zipper gets stuck or their favorite cereal is gone.
Do they melt down or try to solve it?
Right. Can they manage that without needing immediate parental rescue? That emotional regulation is a big clue.
Because mornings are rarely perfect, let's be honest. There's always a curveball, like the aforementioned missing sock.
Oh, the sock monster is real and busy in the mornings. So yeah, resilience matters. Also, look outside the morning routine. How are they doing with responsibility generally?
Like homework, chores.
Yeah. Are they remembering their library book? Putting their plate in the dishwasher without, 10 reminders? It shows they're developing that sense of accountability.
Building those responsibility muscles, as you said, that follow through.
Exactly. And self-discipline comes into play, too. Can they actually do the getting ready tasks when, Lego is calling their name?
Yes, the siren song of the unfinished creation. Big test.
Huge. And are they showing interest? Asking to pick their clothes, wanting to pour their own milk, even if it means a small spill sometimes?
That intrinsic motivation again, if they want to do it.
It makes a world of difference. And problem solving, if they can't find their shoes, do they look for a second before yelling for help? Little things like that.
And, maybe just asking them, having a chat about it.
Absolutely. Don't underestimate a simple conversation. How do you feel about getting yourself ready? You might be surprised. It makes it collaborative.
Less of a top-down order, more of a team effort.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, so we know the signs. How do we actively help them get there? What are the practical steps?
Number one, without a doubt, is a consistent morning routine. Predictability is key. It reduces stress, makes the whole process feel manageable.
Totally. And tied to that sleep. We can't forget sleep.
Crucial. For that 6 to 13 group, 9 to 11 hours is the magic number. A tired kid is just not going to cope well with morning demands. It's like starting the day with a dead battery.
So true. First step, consistent bedtime. Then map out the morning.
Yep. Wake up time, get dressed, brush teeth, breakfast, bag check, lay it out clearly. And even better, involve them in creating it.
Oh, good tip. Let them have some say, like wake up time within reason or breakfast choices.
Exactly. That ownership makes them much more likely to buy in. And here's a really practical tool. A visual schedule. A chart.
Pictures. Or just a list they can check off.
Both work. Seeing the steps, maybe checking them off as they go. It gives that sense of progress, accomplishment, almost like a game.
Anything to avoid the morning nag fest, right?
Right.
So routine is set. What about teaching them how to manage the time within that routine?
Good question. That visual schedule helps with sequencing, but you can also introduce things like timers.
Like set a timer for getting dressed.
Yeah. Okay, 15 minutes to get dressed, go. It makes the clock the boss, not you. Helps them develop that internal sense of how long things take.
Takes the pressure off the parent a bit. Makes it more objective.
Right. And gently guiding them on priorities. Pants first, then maybe finish that drawing.
Logic. And encouraging them to check their own list or schedule. Self-monitoring.
Yes. Fosters that independence. Okay, what's next on your list? It builds that internal checklist habit.
Okay, structure, skills, but the letting go part can be hard for parents. How do we encourage independence in small ways?
It has to be gradual. Start small. Laying out clothes the night before, easy win.
Or packing their own school bag. Suddenly remembering the permission slip becomes their problem.
Exactly. Then maybe they can start making simple breakfast items, pouring cereal, making toast. Nothing too complicated at first.
And maybe encouraging them to tidy up as they go. Less morning clutter equals less chaos.
Definitely helps. A clear space, a clearer head, and through it all, celebrate the wins.
Yes, even small stuff.
Absolutely. Wow, you got dressed all by yourself today. Or a high five. That positive reinforcement builds their confidence like crazy.
Okay, let's circle back to those age milestones you mentioned. Can you quickly recap those for parents trying to figure out where their kid fits?
Sure. So, rough guide, ages 5-6, that's basic self-care. They can do things like brush teeth, maybe put on clothes, but often need help with tricky bits like buttons or getting shoes on the right feet.
Been there. What's next?
Ages 7-8 usually increase responsibility. They can likely dress themselves fully, handle simple tasks, but might still need reminders to stay on track.
Okay, less hands-on, more gentle nudging.
Exactly. Then comes the 9-10 range, often the full morning routine stage. This is where many kids can manage waking up, dressing, eating, the whole shebang pretty independently.
The dream. And older, 11 plus.
Generally, complete independence. They should be able to manage their morning without reminders, understanding the timelines and consequences.
So that chart is a useful sort of roadmap. Helps manage expectations.
Precisely. See where your child is, celebrate how far they've come, and see what's next.
And you mentioned that downloadable checklist earlier. Yeah. That sounds like a great tool to actually implement this.
It really is. It's printable, breaks down the tasks visually. Kids can check things off. It gives them that structure and that feeling of control. Super helpful.
Definitely sounds worth checking out. Okay. One last common challenge. What if your child just resists, digs their heels in about doing things themselves?
Yeah, that happens. First step is try to understand why. Talk to them. Are they overwhelmed? Scared of messing up? Is one task really hard for them?
So communication first.
Always. Then work together on solutions. Maybe break tasks down even smaller. Lots of positive reinforcement for effort, not just perfection. Frame it as teamwork, not a battle.
Makes sense. Collaboration over confrontation.
Exactly. And just patience. Remember, it's a journey. Some days are smooth. Some days feel like you're back at square one. Keep guiding, keep supporting. Celebrate those small steps. They're learning huge life skills.
That's a great way to frame it. It's not just about easier mornings for parents. It's about building capable kids.
Absolutely.
So, to recap, 8 to 10 is a common window, but look at the whole child's physical, cognitive, emotional readiness and their own motivation. Build routines together. Teach time management gently, start small, and celebrate progress.
You got it. Empowering them bit by bit.
Fantastic. This has been super helpful. Thanks for breaking it all down. And listeners, definitely grab that free morning routine checklist from KinderPage. Sounds like a lifesaver.
It can be. And here's something to maybe mull over later. As your child gets the hang of managing their mornings, how might that growing independence start showing up in other parts of their day, or even shape their confidence long term? Something to think about.